Here I am on a par 3, it's the 14th hole at Coeur d'Alene up on the Canadian border. And it's actually a green that you have to take a little boat to get to and to come back to mainland. And the green floats amazingly and it's on wires. So they can actually move the position of that green. It's quite remarkable. So I'm actually on the ladies' tee here. I'm 100 yards to the flag. And I just thought I'd break up the background for you. So, going back to the principle of hitting a fence post with a hammer, that is a blow-in plane. That's the best one. That's a miss, that's glanted, there's the blow-in plane. And from the side you can see that broadly it's a circular arc. But you know in real terms, in practical terms, if I asked you to hit the fence post, you would elongate the strike. You would try and go down the post straight into the ground. So no longer is the hammer working on a fairly circular arc, it becomes elliptical, it goes down the line. So, that's using a wooden mallet. If I lay the post on the ground, and I can use my hockey stick, that again has no loft, it's just a flat surface, I place the hockey stick against the end of the post. I've taken golfing grip and golfing posture. So, if I turn to you, you can see that the club and the arm and the shoulder are a Y shape. And if I turn the Y shape through the shoulders to about shoulder high, the head of the club or the end of the hockey stick is about shoulder high, that Y-shaped motion is your takeaway and the first half of any golf swing. Now, in broad terms, it's a circular path. But like with the mallet, we're going to elongate the strike. So we're going to turn to here, head of the hockey stick shoulder high, and then we're going to drive the flat surface against the stake and drive it through. And the better the player, the longer they're able to go through. So it's an elongated strike. And that removes us from the temptation of lifting the ball and scooping, because the moment you do that, you start to get the ball fat and thin and top it. Okay, so let's just take that information and implement it with an 8 iron. So we offer the club, the implement, which is an 8 iron. We tip from the hip to build the grip, and we take our stance. The takeaway movement, which is basically creating power, is, as I showed you, to about shoulder height. But I've got to forget hitting the ball in the air. If I go through the ball, you can see I've comfortably flown it 100 yards through the air, and the club maker got the ball airborne. American golf designers, they love water. They love terrifying the player. And the trouble for most of us, when we've got water around the green, we get tense. And the moment you get tense and hold the club too tightly and your forearms lock up, you lose the quality of your strike. So you have to remember that if you do your job, which is to drive the ball towards the target, the club maker will do his job, which is to lift the ball. The moment you try to lift the ball, you get yourselves into trouble. So let me show you a poor one. You'll go back, and then you'll try and hit it up in the air. And then you've topped it in the pond. One of the things that can help you in that regard is a practice swing. The old tennis player gets a second serve if he needs it. In golf, we don't get that luxury, but we can use our practice swing as our first service. So I would rehearse the turn of the Y shape with a swish. And if I hear a swish, that's a good indication that I'm going through the shot. So let's go back to basics. There's good grip and posture. I turn the Y shape. The key word for me now is through. And if I go through, the club maker lifts the ball, and I've produced 100 yards of flight with an 8 iron and just half a backswing. So, we started by holding the club properly. We recognised that to get a good grip, we need a good posture. Then we talked about the task. The task is to send the ball forward. The club maker's task is to hit the ball low or high. We've also understood that while the backswing at the moment is only half a movement, the commitment must be through the ball, not at it, not scooping it, but driving the ball forward. And the more strongly you drive the ball forward, the more accurate and more consistent you'll be. And along with that comes power.